Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as we will begin in a few moments. We ask that you please turn off all electronic devices or place them on silent. As a reminder, military members will stand at attention during the national anthem. Civilian guests are invited to place their hand over their heart. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the 7th Mission Support Group Commander and today's presiding officer, Colonel Chris Lance, we welcome you to the 7th Force Support Squadron Change of Command, in which Lieutenant Colonel Kathleen Castillo-limu relinquishes command to Lieutenant Colonel Jan Ray Calpito. I am Staff Sergeant Madison West, and I will serve as your MC for this event. The change of command ceremony is a visible means of handing the reins of command from one commander to another. Exchanging the guidon is more than just a symbolic tradition. The guidon identifies the loyalty and allegiance of the unit. Passing it to another officer was, and still is, the literal change of command. Today, the 7th Force Support Squadron guidon will be passed on, representing the responsibility of the unit being surrendered by one and accepted by another. Today's ceremony is simple and direct. The departing commander will face the presiding officer, salute, and say, "Sir, I relinquish command." She then steps aside as the new commander takes his place in front of the presiding officer. He salutes and says, "Sir, I assume command." In all, 8 spoken words, but in those 8 words are an ending and a beginning. For Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu, it marks the end of a distinguished tour with the 7th Force Support Squadron. For Lieutenant Colonel Calpito, it heralds the beginning of a new and challenging tour of duty. To both, we offer our best wishes. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Dias Honor Guard and the singing of our national anthem by Captain Curtis Biltman, Tech Sergeant Raymond Williamson, and A1C Clarissa Williams, and the invocation given by Chaplain First Lieutenant Joseph Junn.
Present the colors.
Color. Order. Honor. Order. Order. Colors. Present. Honor.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Pause. Color. Color third. Heart.
Let's all bow our heads in prayer. Almighty God, unwavering in every season, the defender of those who serve, today marks a sacred moment, the passing of the guidon and the helm of leadership for the 7th Force Support Squadron. Today we honor Lieutenant Colonel Kathleen Castillo-limu, a commander whose leadership has been nothing short of exceptional. With relentless devotion and sacrifice, she's poured out her heart into this squadron, uplifting airmen through the fires of challenge and the triumph of mission success. Lord, would you hold her close, the service that she has to our great nation, and remember her leadership, which was bold, yet compassionate, driven, yet deeply human. She was without question the commander this squadron needed in this chapter of its history. We ask you to bless her and her family, her wife Fowla, and her 2 sons A1C Osiris and Romulus have all stood as her bedrock through countless sacrifices and demanding days. As Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu embarks on her next assignment, may your presence lead her in unwavering victories. Now, Lord, we turn to Major January Calpito, a leader of proven valor called to take the helm of this vital squadron. Grant him your wisdom to steer with precision and compassion, building upon this foundation to deliver unmatched support to Diocese mission. Bless his family, his wife Kimby, and their children Charlotte and Jonathan. May they feel the pulse of belonging in this community and ground them as they step into this new chapter. Lord, as the helm of command shifts, let your power and presence sweep like a jet stream across the 7th Force Support Squadron. Empower those who sustain our airmen through care and unyielding service. Let this ceremony renew our commitment to stand tall for this great nation. Help us to remember those currently deployed, standing watch with pride as we honor the past and climb toward the future. God bless the 7th Support Squadron, the United States Air Force, and the United States of America. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Dias Honor Guard, Captain Biltman, Tech Sergeant Williamson, A1C Williams, and Chaplain Junn. At this time, I would like to introduce our distinguished guests in attendance with us today. Please hold your applause until all are announced. The 7th Bomb Wing Commander, Colonel Seth Spanner and his wife Chris. The incoming 7th Bomb Wing Deputy Commander, Colonel Ryan Stallsworth. The 7th Bomb Wing Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Benjamin McCullough. The 7th Bomb Wing Honorary Commander, Mr. Gray Bridwell. And the 7th Mission Support Group Commander, Colonel Robert C. Lance. We are especially pleased to have with us today Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu's family, her spouse, Ms. Fola Castillo-limu, also attending virtually, her son, A1C Osiris Chitara, her son, Romulus Chitara, her father, Mr. Osiris Castillo, her mother, Luz Jimenez, and her siblings, Keisha, Ashley, and Johandi. Also joining us today is Lieutenant Colonel Calpito's family, his spouse, Mrs. Kimby Calpito, his children, Charlotte and Jonathan, his mother and father, Dan and Melly Calpito. We would also like to welcome all of the group commanders, squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, team Dias warriors, families, and friends that joined us for this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the 7th Mission Support Group Commander, Colonel Lance.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Dias Air Force Base and the 7th Force Support Squadron. Captain Corman, please put the formation at ease.
At ease.
First, I'd like to thank some folks who made this ceremony happen. Captain Biltman, Sergeant Williamson, A1C Williams for that phenomenal and unique rendition of our national anthem. Let's give them one more round of applause. Lieutenant John for that truly heartfelt invocation. To the Dias Honor Guard, you are true professionals. Sergeant Barrett for coordinating the event, Sergeant West for narrating, and Sergeant Gomez for being the proffer. I appreciate your effort to give us this first-class change of command ceremony. I'd also like to thank Colonel Spanier, Mrs. Spanier, Colonel Stallsworth, Chief McCullough, Mr. Bridwell. Thanks not only for being here, but for your leadership and partnership with the Mission Support Group and the 7th Force Support Squadron over the last 2 years. I'd also like to extend a very special thanks to Fola, not only for being here today with Kathleen, but for standing by her side over those last 2 years in a very difficult 2-year assignment that included a 6-month deployment. I'd also like to send a very special thanks to Jan Ray's wife, Dr. Kim V. Calpito, his children, Charlotte and Jonathan, and his parents, Dan and Melly. Thanks for being here by his side as he embarks on this new challenge. It's going to be so very important getting him through the next 2 years. To the men and women of the 7th Force Support Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu has brought you a long way and led you to accomplish so very much. While under her leadership, you coordinated the rollout of the new State School of Choice initiative with the Texas Education Authority and our local school superintendents. This afforded parents the opportunity to pick the best school for their children for the first time at Dias. You overhauled the Dias Child and Youth programs to ensure strict accreditation for both the youth and child development centers, as well as boosting participation and licensure for the Family Child Care Program, which significantly increased the base's capacity to care for our children. You solicited, received, and executed a major dining facility renovation to not only extend the life of the facility, but improve the quality of food and dining experience. You reinvigorated the major base events portfolio, bringing famous magicians, celebrity chefs, and the rock bands Skillet and Hoobastank to Dias, free of charge to our airmen. And all this was accomplished through a hiring freeze, significant manpower shortage in both the civilian and military sides, and the first full expeditionary air base deployment, where Kathleen took a significant portion of the 7th Force Support Squadron and merged them with airmen from across the Air Force to form the 378th Expeditionary Force Support Squadron at Prince Sultan Air Base in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. While in command of her deployed unit, Kathleen led a $2.7 million food budget, a $47 million lodging operation, and managed 527,000 pounds of mail and 193 pieces of mortuary equipment, while reinstating morale trips for our deployed airmen to rest and recover from long weeks in the inhospitable environment of the Middle East. Kathleen, thank you for your hard work and drive to make both Dias and Prince Sultan Air Base a better place to be stationed. I, along with our airmen, are grateful for your dedication. I wish you safe travels as you head to the Manpower, Personnel, and Services Directorate of Air Combat Command as the Chief of Personnel Policy and Programs. I know your drive and work ethic will make a lasting impression there. But as Kathleen departs the base she worked so hard to support, she is leaving the squadron in the capable hands of Lieutenant Colonel Calpito. Jan Ray comes to us from the Air Force Global Strike Command Manpower, Personnel, and Services Directorate, where he led the Personnel Division and was known as a Team First leader. While there, he led the directorate to create nuclear personnel processing codes, ensuring appropriate manpower and skill sets are at strategic bases where it's so very critical. This is especially important here at Dias as we prepare for the bed down of both the B-21 Raider and the new weapons generation facility. He navigated the major command through a PCS funding shortfall, drove a command-wide effort to initiate quality of life and health programs at each installation, and overhauled the Staff Action Officer course. He also authored several papers that effectively set in motion new assignment incentive pay, special experience identifiers, and criteria to analyze and capture critical Air Force specialty codes. Prior to Global Strike Command, Jan Ray honed his leadership skills as a deputy commander at the 14th Force Support Squadron at Columbus Air Force Base. There, he secured over 40 events in conjunction with the Air Force Entertainment, cut labor costs by $185,000, aced a major command inspection, and led the manpower support for the bed-down preparation of T-7 Red Hawk, the new jet trainer. It's easy to see that he is poised and ready to pick up where Kathleen left off and continue the world-class support the squadron is known for. Jan Ray, I'm excited about the positive impact I know you'll have on the unit. Leading the Force Support Squadron requires knowledge, dedication, and mostly a lot of hard work. Thomas Edison once said, "I never did anything by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident. They came by hard work." Kathleen, you have put in so much hard work with your airmen for the last 2 years. Thank you, and job well done. Jan Ray, you have proven you have the knowledge and dedication to assume the position, and I'm confident that you're ready to roll up your sleeves and continue the hard work the 7th Force Support Squadron is famous for. I look forward to working with you as you make Dias into an even better base. For all those in attendance, thank you again for being here. To the men and women of the 7th Force Support Squadron, let's continue to serve Dias with the best support I've seen. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Lance. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Lance presents the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by executive order, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 2nd Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Kathleen Castillo-limu for meritorious service 28 June 2023 to 18 June 2025. Lieutenant Colonel Kathleen Castillo-limu distinguished herself by outstanding service as Commander, 7th Force Support Squadron, 7th Mission Support Group, 7th Bomb Wing, Dias Air Force Base, Texas. During this period, Colonel Castillo-limu led a 318-member unit serving over 20,000 personnel, managing $10.6 million in projects and $1.7 million in non-appropriated funds across 19 facilities. Her team executed 827 events, 25,000 consultations, and supported the command's busiest airfield with 28,000 sorties annually and 2,800 deployers. Additionally, they advised on 4,847 manpower authorizations worth $504 million and reorganized the 7th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron into 2 bomber generation squadrons. She secured $4.2 million in quality of life upgrades and safeguarded $3 million in entitlements. Furthermore, she divested the golf course, eliminated a 14-year-long $250,000 annual deficit, and enhanced child youth programs, achieving a 72% inspection improvement and $750,000 in projected savings. Her leadership propelled her team to win 9 Air Force Global Strike Command awards, including the 2023 Best Large Force Support Squadron and the Air Force 2024 Personnel, Manpower, and Services Special Recognition Team Award. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Castillo-limu reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the 7th Force Support Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Corman, you may put the formation at ease.
At ease.
Before I begin, I want to thank the team who made this possible today. Sergeant Barrett and Seniorman Presley Edwards, our MC Sergeant West, our Proffer Sergeant Gomez, and Chaplain Yun. Thank you for guiding today with grace. Dias Honor Guard, thank you for the precision you bring to every ceremony. Chaplain Buteman, Tech Sergeant Williamson, and A1C Williams. Your delivery of the national anthem was truly beautiful. Let's give them another round of applause. Colonel Spaniard, Chris, Colonel Stylesworth, Chief McCullough, Mr. Bridwell. Corey couldn't be here, but I have her in my speech, of course. Chief West, commanders, just chiefs, first sergeants, and Team FSS. Thank you for honoring us with your presence today. Colonel Spaniard, sir, thank you for your leadership and your mentorship. This wing is truly lucky to have you at the helm, and that you and Chris and the boys are going to stay here for another year. Chief McCullough, I was genuinely happy when I heard you'll be the next command chief. You care deeply for the team and for the mission, and it shows. Colonel Lancer, thank you for officiating today's ceremony, for your trust, and for giving me the space to lead authentically. Thank you for your open door policy. Thank you for always being available. Whether we need 1 minute of your time or a whole hour, you are always available for us, and I appreciate you. Thank you to you and Corey for leading with heart. Your presence and support have meant a great deal to me, to my family, and this squadron. Now, it's hard to put into words what this moment means to me. Don't worry, I won't cry until the 3rd page, at least, okay? 2 years ago, I stepped into this role with hope, a sense of responsibility, and little understanding of just how heavy the weight of command actually is. I didn't know this place, I didn't know the people, but I was trusted to care for them, to lead them, to mentor them, and to invest in them. I poured my sweat, my tears, and my time into this squadron. I laughed deeply, I cried quietly, but my heart is so proud, and my cup is so full. And now, just as I was asked to come, I've been asked to go. But I leave a piece of my heart with you all today. I am so proud of this squadron. We executed and supported DIAS from cradle to grave. And over the past 2 years, this squadron didn't just show up. We delivered, we led, we transformed. With less than 5 weeks' notice, we brought DIAS the largest concert in over a decade, logging 469 man-hours and lifting morale for more than 3,000 attendees. We overhauled child and youth programs, restaffed critical positions, restructured hours, and improved training and quality of care, resulting in a 72% drop in DoD inspection findings. In lodging, we secured $1.7 million for HVAC upgrades. We housed 40,000 guests and generated $2.2 million in revenue. We kicked off $2 million DFAC renovation to make critical upgrades to the back and front of the house. Our postal center secured $48,000 for new parcel lockers, enabling 24/7 pickup and distributing 189,000 items of mail for more than 37,000 customers. We modernized internal processes and cut PCS order timeliness by 35 days. We were ranked #1 of 86 MPFs across the whole Air Force and launched an early automated WAPS test center. We made tough calls. We shut down the golf course that lost $2.5 million over 14 years, ending a $250,000 deficit of the yearly deficit of the Morale and Welfare Fund. We honored our fallen warriors with more than 2,000 funeral honors across a 32,000 square mile AOR, ensuring dignity and respect never faltered. And if it wasn't enough, we deployed 33% of our military to run the 378th EFSS at Prince Sultan Air Base, where we earned the Air Force's 2024 A1 Manpower Personnel and Services Special Team of the Year award. But our impact, they weren't just numbers. We led cultural changes, professional development classes at every tier, new recognition programs, daily moments of appreciation that lifted our people. This squadron, we didn't just execute. We reshaped what right looks like. We made DIAS better. And it was not luck. It was flight chiefs who kept pushing, airmen who stayed late, civilians who carried the mission on their backs even when the road was hard and there were manpower shortfalls. We didn't just run a squadron, we moved mountains. And as I often tell my first sergeant, we slay dragons. Now, none of these accomplishments could have happened without an amazing team at work and on the home front. To my spouse, Fola, my way, way cooler half, thank you for holding me through the storms. You were my peace, my steady ground, and my joy in quiet moments. You baked cookies, joined kickball games, bowled your way into the squadron's heart. You brought laughter and love in every room. You gave advice to our airmen, shared wisdom with our NCOs, and somehow always knew what was going on in the squadron, sometimes before I even did. And when someone would ask me, ma'am, how did you know that's happening? I just smile and say, well, my spouse may or may have not told me. I do not know who the squadron will miss more. I love you. To our sons, Osiris and Romulus, thank you for your strength and your grace. Osiris, my new A1C Shatara, I am so proud of the man you've become. Romulus, congratulations on your high school graduation. I am so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see where you will go. I could not be the person or leader that I am today without the two of you. I love you both. To my command team, seeing where they're at real quick. To my command team, thank you for your strength, your truth, and your trust. You allowed me to lead even when I didn't always get it right. Chief Hilliard, thank you for your honesty, your heart, and for opening your home to our airmen. You are a role model through and through. This squadron is so lucky to have you, and Jose, and Mariah, and Kobe. And of course, your amazing karaoke skills. Master Sergeant Townsend, thank you for all you do. Our airmen will never truly know how much you carry. Whether leading a dance-off at the holiday party, or putting on a chicken hat and doing the chicken dance in a room full of strangers, you brought joy, commitment, and grit. Major Lucy, your compassion showed up every single time the mission got heavy. You led with your full heart, and I thank you. To my deputy who couldn't be here today, thank you for being a cheerleader to the team and for all of your hard work. To my acting deputy, Mr. Patel, I really lost count of how many hats you wore. Child and Youth Flight Chief, Force Development Flight Chief, Community Service, Civilian Personnel, now my acting deputy. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for always stepping in. To the flight chiefs and the flight commanders, thank you for holding the line, even when it felt like you were holding it with your bare hands. You never gave up. Now to the men and women of the 7th Force Support Squadron. You are the heartbeat of this base. You stood tall when things got heavy. You held on when hope felt thin. You kept showing up, and you were in the arena. Tired, dusty, sometimes criticized, but you never stopped. As Teddy Roosevelt said, the credit belongs to the one who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat, who errs, who comes short again and again, but who strives valiantly. The credit belongs to you. You made me a better commander, a better leader, and a better person. You let me lead with my full heart, even when it cracked a little. Let me say it again, in case you guys haven't heard it today, okay? You matter, your work matters, and you make a difference. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for letting me serve you. And thank you truly for loving me back. John Ray, my friend, I cannot believe that we're here today, from the Lieutenant Mafia back at Barksdale to this very moment. What a journey. There's no one better to take this guide on. You bring leadership, compassion, and a quiet strength. I trust this squadron in your hands. To Dr. Kimby Calpito, my good friend. To Charlotte and Jonathan, Welcome to the FSS family. They will love you just like they loved us. FSS. I made it to the end, to be fair, not the third page, but it has been my honor to be your commander. I love you all. Thank you.
Ma'am, it has been our great honor to serve under your command. The men and women of the 7th Force Support Squadron thank you for your leadership, support, and dedication. We wish you and your family good luck and Godspeed in the future. On behalf of the men and women of the 7th Force Support Squadron, the squadron will render Lieutenant Colonel Castillo-limu her final salute as their commander.
Squadron 10 foot. Precinct hooks. Order hooks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. By order of Colonel Robert C. Lance, Special Order Number Golf 070466, Lieutenant Colonel Jan Ray Capito assumes command of the 7th Force Support Squadron. Vice, Lieutenant Colonel Kathleen Castillo-limu. Effective 16 June 2025.
Officers. Sir.
Sorry, excuse me.
Officers. Close.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the 7th Force Support Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Jan Ray Capito.
Captain Foreman, please put the formation at ease.
Eddie.
All right. Colonel Spanier, Mrs. Spanier, Colonel Stallworth, Chief Master Sergeant McCullough, Mr. Birdwell, Colonel Lance, and the team dies. I'm humbled and honored to assume command of the 7th Force Support Squadron. Colonel Spanier and Colonel Lance, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I do not take this lightly, and I appreciate you both for giving me this chance to lead the team. Kathleen, you've done an amazing job, left big shoes for me to fill. We've known each other for over a decade. We met as young lieutenants. We deployed together, and here we are today. It means a lot taking the flag from you. I promise to lead them well, and I know that you'll yell at me if I don't. To my parents, my wife, and kids, I'll keep it simple with an I love you, and thank you for everything we got, and we got this. I just met everyone, so I got to be really short with them. To the 7th Force Support Squadron, Staff Sergeant Barrett, Senior Presley Edwards, the Dice Honor Guard, our trio of singers, Captain Beltman, A1C Williams, Tech Sergeant Williamson, Master Sergeant Tallinson, Captain Corman, Chaplain Junn, and everyone else who was a part of the ceremony. Today was perfect. It's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I'm truly blessed in joining such an amazing team. I kept it short, so in closing, my family and I are very appreciative of the warm welcome you've given us. I'm honored to serve as your commander. Today marks the beginning of our story, and I look forward to partnering with our Team DICE teammates, the City of Abilene, and I thank you so much for today.
We extend a warm West Texas welcome to the Capito family. The men and women of the 7th Force Support Squadron will now welcome Lieutenant Colonel Capito with his first salute as their commander.
Squadron 10 foot. Precinct hooks. Order. Hugs.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. We would like to thank everyone for their attendance. Please join us for a welcome reception in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Calpito and his family. Please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to meet our thunder. At 'em now, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun. Down we dive, spreading our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Please go enjoy.